This is Storyteller Jim, and this is my November story. I'm going to do it a little different this month. I'm up in a cabin in the mountains at about 9,700 feet, and I'm going to tell you a couple of quick stories this morning next to my potbelly stove, and then I'm going to go out with my camera and explore the mountain and show you some things about the natural history of this area that the cabin's at. I've stayed here many times. I really like it up here. Um, I did nature walks for about 25 years. Of course, I'm not doing any now during the pandemic, but my preferred way of doing nature walks was to lead a class of students and their teacher and usually their parent helpers out and just let what we find in nature be our curricula, be our subject, to go out and, find some tracks in the snow or something, and then we talk about that. That was my preferred way of doing it. It made it interesting for me and also for the kids and their teachers, I think. So that's what I'm going to do with my camera today is take you along and we'll do a nature walk, see what we can find. But first I'm going to tell you a couple of quick stories about wildlife. It snowed yesterday, and maybe we'll see some tracks, and maybe we'll even see some mountain lion tracks. Probably not likely, but maybe. So that's what my first story is about, mountain lions in Colorado. Mountain lions are really fascinating. They're strict carnivores. They only eat meat. Their preferred prey is deer. And they kill a deer about once every week. And so, and that's what my story is about. One time I was hiking in January, and while I was hiking, a snowstorm moved in, and it became a blizzard. It was snowing so hard that I had to keep my head down. Excuse me. Because the snow was blowing up into my eyes. But I was coming down a trail, down a slope, and out of the corner of my eye I saw something red in the snow, which got my attention. Everything else was white. So I went down to investigate, and in a little ravine only about 30 or 40 feet away was the rib cage of a young buck deer sticking out of the snow. The red I saw was the frozen blood on the rib cage. So my first thought is, this is a mountain lion kill. A mountain lion had taken down a deer. And I looked around, it gave me the creeps. I wondered if I was in any kind of danger there. So I continued on. Went down to the truck. But I came back the next day with my camera to see if I could find any tracks in the snow to confirm, what really had killed that deer. And what I found that second day was mountain lion tracks all around the carcass. They're 3 inches by 3 inches, no claws. See, mountain lions keep their claws in. They keep them retracted except when they're attacking something. By keeping their claws retracted, they stay sharp that way. And there wasn't much of the carcass left on that second day. It had been mostly eaten up. But there was a line of tracks, mountain lion tracks, that went up over a ridge and down into a north-facing slope that was covered with Douglas fir trees. Now, if I had wanted to, I could have followed those tracks up over into that north-facing slope and maybe found a mountain lion on its daybed underneath a Douglas fir somewhere. But I didn't think that would be smart, so I did not do that. Yeah, there's a lot of mountain lions in Colorado and in the West. I've read that there's estimates that there's 30,000 mountain lions in the West. And with that many mountain lions, there's very few attacks on people. Mountain lions are very shy. They they don't like to be seen. They stay away from people, and they're very, very nocturnal. They really only like to come out at night. And so, if you ever happen to see a mountain lion, you got to consider yourself very lucky, because some people can live close by mountain lions their entire life and never see a mountain lion. I saw one once, and I was surprised at how big it looked. It must have been a male. Males can weigh as much as 200 pounds. And the thing is, they have a long tail, and on the very tip of their tail there's some black fur. So that's my first story, my mountain lion story from Colorado. My second story is about what might be coming to Colorado more in the future, about wolves. It's already been confirmed we have a wolf pack in the northern part of the state. But as you probably know, there's an election where there was a ballot question on whether we will introduce more wolves to Colorado on the western slope of the mountains. And it narrowly passed. It was very close. So we might have some more wolf packs coming to Colorado. I have mixed feelings about it because I like to hike with my dogs, and especially above timberline. And I have to be very careful if I'm in an area where there's wolves, because my boy dog Bo, the big black one, if he saw a wolf, he might run after him. He probably would stop if I yelled at him. He's pretty good that way, but it's just something I'd have to be aware of. Anyway, my second story. I was in Yellowstone about 20 years ago. I love Yellowstone. I've gone there many, many times. And this was when the Druid pack was in the Lamar Valley. And I got up early and I went up in the Lamar Valley, and I got up on a hillside where I could see a large area. And I saw a wolf pack, the Druids, which was a pretty large pack. And they were near some bisons. There were buck bison and females and some young. And as I watched, I saw one of the wolves raise its head and howl. And all the other wolves came up to that one. It might have been the alpha, but it seemed obvious that he was gathering them together. And then after they gathered together, they approached the bison. And see, the wolf's strategy is often to try to scare an animal to get it to run. Then they'll all run alongside it and try to take it down. But these bison were too smart for that. They didn't run. In fact, as I watched, 3 or 4 of the biggest bison, the bulls, got together and they charged the wolves, and the wolves kind of scattered. And then they went off into the sagebrush as if they had something better to do anyway. So their strategy didn't work on that day. So, okay, those are my 2 stories. And hang on, because I think you'll like my nature walk today. This is a beautiful area that I'm staying where the cabin is. And ever since I was a little boy, I've always loved nature. I think that people are happier when they spend time out in nature. It's healthy for your body and also your soul to be out in nature. There's beauty in every single day. You just have to be out there paying attention. So if you go with me today, maybe we'll see some of that beauty and maybe learn some things about the trees and the plants. Maybe we'll find some wildlife tracks in the snow. It snowed about 5 inches yesterday while we were here. It was a beautiful snow. So I was out hiking with the dogs during the heaviest part of the snowstorm, and I got some nice photos, which I'll put a link to my photos your teachers can show you. Anyway, hang on and come along with me today. And again, thanks for listening.